Hey there everybody, how's it going, and welcome to episode 3 of the Rtp Podcast. And today we have got a very special guest in G.O.T Gaming. He is the admin of our Facebook group, and we are going to be talking about games, we're going to be talking about game news, we're going to be talking about YouTube, we're going to be talking about his lovely wife and fellow YouTuber, Auntie Judy, and then we're going to be doing a Q&A session with the rapid fire Q&A questions at the end. So I hope everybody enjoys the podcast today. We're going to start with a piece of music that he has picked. Let's go.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
And welcome back after that great piece of music there. So we've got our guest on today, who is G.O.T Gaming, Steve Jones. How's it going?
What's up, people? It's going good.
Going good. So what is new with you today? Anything, you got anything lined up, and how's life over in the States?
Life here is flipping hot. It really is, dude. You know what? It gives me time to stay indoors and game some more and do what I enjoy, gaming and my choo-choo trains. Okay.
And your choo-choo trains, why? Have you got something lined up to do with trains then, or?
I mean, I'm actually building a second model train layout, and I'm actually going to be featuring that on my channel once I actually get one up and running from the start, from the ideas to actually up and running, just as a little short series, completely different to what folks are probably used to seeing me do.
I was going to say, so you're actually going to be starting up a series to do with your trains and stuff then?
Yeah, just little model trains and buildings and all built from scratch kind of thing.
I was going to say, well, it's something different then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I try and offer variety on my channel. So with the little bit of, I think I did some cooking on there, but it's like traveling with my job, being truck driver, and the gaming, the challenges. I just want to throw in some modeling stuff in there as well. So, like I say, it's a complete difference from what I normally post.
Well, I was going to say there's nothing wrong with a bit of variety across channel and stuff because, I mean, the more variety, the better because it brings in different audiences across YouTube. So one of the things that I really wanted to discuss is upcoming game news and some of the topics that I had here. And one of the things that really stood out for me straight away when I was looking across the news was Dead or Alive 6 is getting a reveal. It was something that dropped on Team Ninja's timeline, and basically it's the first. Well, it's the latest Dead or Alive game since 2012. So it's got a good 6 years, 6 year wait from the last one to the new one. Did you actually play Dead or Alive at all?
I actually played I think it was the fourth or the fifth one. It was like I think the basic game was a free version, but then it's like, oh, if you want this costume or this character, then you got to pay like $16 or whatever. So, but I mean, to me, it's a fun fighter. It's not something that you could really take serious. It's not like, to me, it's not like. I mean, I'm a huge Tekken fan.
Yeah.
And I find with Dead or Alive 6, it's not politically correct towards women, shall we say?
Well, I was going to say because well, no, I mean you're not wrong there because I must admit, Dead or Alive was never one of my favorite fighting games. As I said, I'm pretty much the same as you. I was a big Tekken fan in Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter. From Street Fighter to Dead or Alive, they're both focused heavily on, how can we put this, female lady parts.
Yeah, and did you actually, I don't know if you're aware, but with the new Dead or Alive 6, they've actually taken away the jiggle feature, shall we say, of certain lady parts.
Yes.
They've actually removed that jiggle feature, and also some of the costumes are not going to be as revealing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, I think that's probably down to, I don't know, I use the air quotations here, but the political correctness of people's opinions across games nowadays. You always have people complaining about explicit content or certain topics on content.
If you're offended, then don't play it. It's a video game at the end of the day. Turn it off.
Yeah, because I mean, people really, take really like sort of jump on the bandwagon as soon as there's any kind of controversy with the game. So people just jump straight on it and are just like, well, you can't show this, you can't show that, there's too much on display here, or certainly with the Detroit controversy, which we'll get into later. I thought that just got way out of hand, and when the game actually dropped and you got to the scene in question, it really wasn't anything to be overly dramatic about. But we'll move on to the next thing as well that I had here, and that is that E3 is around the corner, and one of the big things that I'm super excited about and hopefully will be revealed is The Last of Us 2, any kind of new news on The Last of Us 2, because one of the things that I've just recently read was that in Australia's version of game, the shop, there is a pre-buy game case of The Last of Us 2, and the date that it has next to it still says to be confirmed, but the year that's there is 2018, and that wasn't there a couple of months ago. And with E3 round the corner, it's suddenly got a year next to it. So Whether they know something that we don't know, I don't know. But is it a game that you're looking forward to?
I am so looking forward to The Last of Us, and I'm not a big zombie game fan. I mean, just to me, playing a game with zombies going around eating brains and stuff just wasn't my kind of thing. And Last of Us actually converted me to that style of gaming. And I got Last of Us in 2014 because I think it dropped in 2013.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And I actually, so it's 5 years now. If it is 2018, which I honestly don't think it's going to be, I think they're clutching at straws there. I'm not expecting to see Last of Us 2 until sometime in the middle of next year, at least.
You think 2019, maybe 2020?
Yeah, I think not. The middle of next year may be the end, but sometime next year. I don't think it's coming out this year.
I think, like you say, may well be clutching at straws because surely if the release was going to be this year, then there would be a lot more. There would at least be gameplay footage. As all we've seen is from the trailer, and I'll play a bit of the trailer on the screen now. Was obviously the one where Ellie's on the guitar, and the one where there is the hangman scene, if you know.
Yeah, I know exactly which scene. Yeah. They're the only two I've seen, and like you said, a lot more would have been dropped.
Absolutely.
If it was this year.
Yeah, I mean, with the announcement that PlayStation 4 is coming to the end of its shelf life, the rumor is also that PlayStation 5 will be out in the very near future, but one of my assumption is that if it's coming to the end of its shelf life, if there's going to be any huge game like The Last of Us 2, I'm assuming that that's got to be before 2020 because the assumption is that PlayStation 5 will be 2021.
That's what I'm assuming too. Is PlayStation 5 won't be out until at least 2020. At least, I don't think, which I'm happy with.
I mean, the thing is that I don't understand why they would push so hard now for the PlayStation 5 when I don't understand where they're going to go with it because they've released the PlayStation Plus, which the PlayStation Pro, sorry, which can play games in 4K. So whether the PlayStation 5 is just going to be obviously the main console being able to be played completely in 4K. But I can't see what else new they're going to be bringing to the table.
You see, my opinion on that is, yeah, that they say the PS4 is coming to its end, which I think it's been out 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
The PS Pro is still fresh within a couple of years, so that still has a lot of shelf life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what I'm getting at. I can't understand why they would even be announcing remotely any kind of news on the PlayStation 5 because that hinders their own sales on the PlayStation Pro. Because everybody would just think, well, if the PlayStation 5 is going to be out in the next 3 years, why go and get a PlayStation Pro? I just thought it was a bit bizarre for them to even announce any remote news on the PlayStation 5 unless they're just trying to stay ahead of the game on Microsoft.
It could, which with the huge war that they have between them and Microsoft anyway, it's always the competition. I mean, yeah, if I know, okay, PS5 is definitely coming out in 2020, I'll skip straight over that PS4 Pro. Yeah, I was considering a Pro, but you know what? Why would I want to drop $300-400 on a Pro when I can drop probably, say, another $100 extra and get the whole brand new system updated and everything?
I mean, for me personally, I can't buy into the whole PlayStation Pro thing because I haven't got a 4K telly. But even if I did have a 4K telly, is it really worth it? Because in terms of playing it offline, then yeah, it would be absolutely fantastic to see a game in 4K. But the game capture that I've got to record gameplay won't actually record in 4K. The Game Catcher HD won't record in 4K. It's only the HD 60 Elgato that can reach the 4K resolution. So for me, in terms of recording and wanting to bring 4K content, it really doesn't make sense.
Right, exactly. I mean, I've got the 4K TV, but like I say, I've just got the regular PS4, and I'm very happy with the quality I'm getting. Yeah, it's not the top quality 4K quality, but you know what? I'm happy with HD. I'm not a person that's all about numbers, really. I really am not.
So the next thing that I wanted to mention, and I know it's a game that you're looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to. Well, I think it's a game you're looking forward to. I'm sure we've discussed this before. Was Days Gone?
Yes, I hear it's got its finally got a release date. I mean, I wasn't into that, and then I seen that very first trailer drop, and I'm like, yes, the guy on the bike, then that swarm of zombies trying to get away. Yeah, that game grabbed me right in the happy sacks area. I was like, yes, I got to get it. I got to get it.
I mean, one of the things that really enticed me with that is I think I've seen about 3 trailers of it now. But when you think about it logically, I mean, that first ever trailer of Days Gone where he jumps through the train, and then they're all like leaping through the train, chasing after him. That trailer dropped at least 2 years ago now, maybe longer.
Is it 2 years now?
It might even be longer than that. I remember it was such a long time ago, and that was all. That was. I don't know whether it was just an idea at the time when that came out, but I just thought, wow, this could be something special. But then it went quiet, and then the next trailer that I saw was like the one that you just referred back to, the one where you go on the bike, and you go to the camp and you got to rescue the guy. And there was two separate trailers, gameplay trailers, where it showed one where you call the horde and another one where you go round the horde of zombies, and that looks really good. But then the final one that I've seen, that just, I mean, I have no idea how long this game has been in development, but they've obviously spent the time and they've done the homework to make it look as great as it possibly could be. Is the one where he's making his way through the factory and he gets stuck on the roof. Have you seen that one?
Right. Yeah. No, I've not seen that one. I've not seen that one there.
Well, I mean, I'll have it up on the screen here as we're talking about it, but it just looks something else. I mean, it finally got its release date, which was the 22nd of February 2019.
Yeah, that's the 22nd next year of February.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that it's finally got that release date, because it really is going to be something special. And if they keep putting it back as like they have been doing, I mean, you would like to think that it's for a reason and it's not just,
I mean, there's not very many games I go out and pay top whack for. I mean, and Days Gone is going to be one of them. And it's the same as with Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, they've put that off and put that off. And people are saying, well, we just want that game. We just want the game. But I would rather wait an extra 6 months, 12 months, so long as that game, as when they do release Days Gone, it's a fluid game. Now, you're going to get your bugs in it anyway.
Of course you are, yeah.
Which you're always going to get those. But for the stability of a good game, I'll wait as long as it takes, because you don't want another No Man's Sky issue where there's just bugs everywhere. So, I mean, but to see them actually release an actual date of next year, February next year, that's going to be on my to get list on release day.
It was just something that looks so good, and I'm completely with you. I can't believe yet again that the third one I've recorded now, third podcast I've recorded now, and every single podcast we have been on now, and we've talked about Red Dead Redemption 2 has came up. So, I mean, even on the second one with my best friend, even then it popped up Red Dead 2. It's just one of those games that's going to be absolutely out of this world. And like you say, the fact that it was touted to be out in March this year, and they just bumped it back to
originally,
and it's like October now, is it?
Yeah, it's now sometime in October. But yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for this game since they first mentioned it. There was a first sniff of it, and I'm a huge GTA 5 fan. I mean, I love Rockstar games. I mean, I have every single GTA game. I think I've pretty much got most of Rockstar's games.
Yeah.
And then when they released this Red Dead 2, I've even taken over my heist crew from GTA 5 over to Red Dead Redemption 2 to create a online posse as well. So I now have an online posse already set up, ready to go as soon as the game drops.
Is that something that you could do? I wasn't aware of that.
I believe rumor has it that you can actually have a posse of 8 people to rob banks and just basically take over little towns and do little side quest missions as a group, as a posse of up to 8 people, whereas the heists were 4 people. I believe this is 6 or 8. I'm not sure of exactly, so don't quote me on that.
No, I mean, if I didn't even know that you could export characters over, but that sounds really good. That would be amazing.
You can export characters over. It's you're going to create your own character again because they've got character customizations. But you can actually have a gang roam the streets of two hick western town kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, was it like train robbing?
Yeah, basically that kind of thing, store robbing and stuff like that.
Yeah, all you need now is to tie a damsel down to a railway track and twizzle your mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Please intro Charlie Chaplin black and white movie here now. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Help.
You nailed that. You did that really well.
I've been in America too long, mate.
I was reading a little thing on the internet that girl gamers have been filing in rape cases, and quite a lot of them are of streamers and also just general content uploaders from female YouTubers is declining due to the fact that they're getting so much online abuse. And I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, my personal thoughts are that, and I'm all for girl game. I don't care if you're a gamer. I don't care if you've got boobs or if you've got moobs. I really don't. I'll game with you, whoever. It's not your gender that I'm going to actually be drawn to.
Yeah.
It's how good you game and if I can interact with you. Now, if some of these girl game, and I'm not going to say it's stereotypical, but what I would call California girls, the blonde hair, blue eyes, bimbo looking ones, seem to get so butthurt because a character, somebody may say something through the mic, and as soon as you go into a multiplayer game of, say, Call of Duty, and they find out you're a girl, whether you're good looking or whether you're as ugly as a mud fence in a rainstorm, it doesn't matter. You've got boobs and you've got a vagina. They're going to say, oh, show me your tits or whatever. Oh, I'm going to tap that ass. And they're going to get offended by that. You've got to understand that you've now put that, you're a girl gamer out there on a public media kind of thing. You're going to get harassed. They're trolls. That's all it is. You can't get butthurt. And there was a case years and years ago of a girl that was playing World of Warcraft or EverQuest or one of those fantasy kind of games, and she was roaming around with her character, and this other random character guy came up, and his character started grinding up or moving up against her character, and no word of a lie, she actually filed a rape claim against this guy because she felt violated because her character was grinding on her. Now, I understand it's how feel as a woman if you feel violated, but at the end of the day, it's a freaking video game.
Yeah,
if
it's not
so
real.
By something like that, exactly. If you are so offended, turn your system off, read a book, watch a movie, whatever. Don't try and look for a quick buck. I mean, if you're offended by a game, turn it off. Things have ratings, for instance. Now, if that's the case, then half of the gamer girls in GTA 5, they're going to, if you're getting chased by a car and you're driving the streets of Liberty City or San Andreas, you're going to do somebody for stalking? No, don't blow it out of proportion. It's like you said, it's a video game. Turn it off if you don't want to do it.
We're going to just talk about an upcoming game now. And it's something that, I mean, it looks amazing. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know whether you are too. And that is the new Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man, when I first seen that first trailer drop, I mean, I'm not a superheroes game fan. But then when I seen that first trailer drop, it just seemed, the whole mechanics of that game, it just seemed really fluid. And I'm going to wait to see actual gameplay once the game's released, actual gameplay of it. But I'm certainly swaying towards getting Spider-Man.
Because one of the big things I'm expecting from E3, and certainly I can really imagine this happening, is gameplay footage of Spider-Man this year. Because it was announced last year, so they've had basically nearly an entire, they have had an entire year to get more promotional stuff together, and it is on the cards of being released. So, I'm expecting gameplay footage this year, and one of the things that people were talking about was one of the big pulling points was the web slinging mechanics on it. It just looked really, really good. If they keep that the way it was from Spider-Man 2, then that's going to be really good. But some of the villains that are rumoured and some of the ones that are confirmed, I've actually got a list here of the confirmed ones. So the confirmed villains so far for Spider-Man is the Shocker, who has made an appearance in quite a few of them, Kingpin, and Kingpin's supposed to be in it.
Sandman going to be there? Please tell me.
I've not seen. There's nothing about it confirmed being Sandman, but these are the rumored villains from them. So I'm just going to go through them. You've got the Green Goblin is rumored.
It has to be. You have to have the Green Goblin.
Now,
hang on. Are you talking about Green Goblin Senior or Green Goblin Junior?
Green Goblin Senior.
Okay, all right, that's good.
So apparently he's supposed to be in another rumored one that people were really looking forward to and want in the game is Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
I don't know whether you knew Kraven.
No, I'm not familiar with Kraven. I mean, I'm familiar with just what probably everybody knows, like Kingpin, Venom. And I'll be surprised if Venom is. Oh, Venom's in a potential.
Yeah, Venom is a potential. Mysterio, the guy who had like the fishbowl head. He's rumored. The Vulture.
Okay, Vulture.
And like as you just mentioned before, Venom. They're all the rumored ones, and they're the ones that people are, sounding off that they want. But basically, the developers haven't come out and denied it.
Okay, so I mean, if they haven't denied it, then that has potential. I mean, and I would be surprised if Venom isn't in there. I mean, I would really be surprised on that. Just my opinion. I mean, what about? I mean, to me, the number one is the Green Goblin, but then after him, you see, you're going to have Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Is he even mentioned?
He's not mentioned on the article that I said that were rumored and that people wanted to see in the game. However, the producers of the game have actually said that it will feature classic villains. So that I think has sparked the rumors, is the fact that they've said that it's classic villains, which makes me wonder. You know, it could be anyone, couldn't it? I mean, basically any villain from Spider-Man is a classic villain. What I think we should do now is take a piece of music, and the piece of music that you've picked is, go on, I'll let you say it.
Bar Crawler by J.R. Tundra. Complete change of music to what I'm used to listening to.
So we're going to take that piece of music, and then we will be back shortly, where we'll talk Q&A and the YouTube group that we have. So enjoy this music.
Okay.
So that was that tune for you, the bar crawl music. It was really, really good. It was something different from the opening tunes, and like I say, it's something that you don't normally listen to on a regular basis.
No, exactly. I mean, I got a PSN friend from up in Washington State who actually works on a blues radio station, and I download her podcast every Friday night, 5 hours of blues, from old style blues to new blues. So I love it. Love that tune.
So it's something. All right. So was that tune from something that was on one of her podcasts then?
Yeah. It was on one of her podcasts. I can't remember the name of the station. It's a small little local radio station in Seattle,
Right.
and they do just a live blues for 5 hours every Friday.
Wow, it's impressive. I mean, it's a little bit of promotion for her as well then.
There you go.
There we go. We're helping out little small radio stations get in. So
There you go.
one of the things that I wanted to bring up now is a topic that's close to all of our hearts is YouTube. And what are your thoughts like? I mean, why did you start up your channel? I mean, what brought you to YouTube?
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I originally started my YouTube channel back in 2012, actually June 2012, 6 years ago. And I had aspirations of becoming the next PewDiePie and stuff like that. And I think my very first video was a GTA edited movie that I did. And there's no talking in there or nothing. And it took me years to talk. But then I quickly learned that it wasn't as hard. It was a lot harder to become famous. So and I actually went from being money orientated to being a famous YouTuber to actually keeping me from a dark place because of some stuff that went on in the past. So I find it motivates me to stay focused on that, making videos and just doing what I do on my channel and with the groups that I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, and on the topic of that, in the groups and everything, we all know that you set up your own group on the back of leaving another group. So one of the original group that we were in was the YouTube and Twitch Nation group, and on the back of that, we left that group and you went and started the YouTube and Twitch Nation Revisited group, which is very original name, by the way.
Well, I actually started that group way before then, and all it was a place that I'd set up just to me and a couple of buddies, just to drop our links. So and that was it. And then when shit went down in the YouTube and Twitch Nation over the admin there, and I'm going to drop names here, that Mike, and I loved the group at the start, but then as time went on, he went on and on and on. Oh, it's nothing about the money. I'm doing this because I'm doing it for you gamers. But it was all donate here, donate to my Patreon. I'm short on paying my electric this month. Blah 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 blah. Send me money. And these dumbasses was sending him money to pay his electric. Yet he's got no job, and he was going and buying 4 or 5 top games and bitching and moaning over views, or I'm not getting the views I deserve, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Woe is you. Suck it up, buttercup. You're not doing, if you're doing it for the money, and I'm just going to say this once, if you're doing it to become rich and make money, then you ain't going to do it. It ain't going to be paycheck overnight, especially with YouTube changing all their rules with 4,000 hours and minimum 1,000 subscribers. I mean, that hit a lot of people hard.
Absolutely.
And I gave up even thinking about making a penny. I don't do it for money. I do it because I enjoy streaming, playing games that I want to play. It's as simple as that. If people want to watch me play a game and cuss, and I'll be honest, I swear a lot in my videos. I do. I can't help it. It's what I do. But people apparently like me dropping the F-bombs every other word.
Yeah. I mean, like say, you know the message that I sent you prior to this, man. But it's all right if you wanna swear, like feel free to swear, man. Don't suppress yourself. But
I'm trying to be so good, but the whole thing with that other previous group is when every message, every news feed, or every video, he was bitching or moaning about not getting views, not getting money, not people not donating, or whatever. That drove me away from the group.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I broke away, I did send what I thought was the true YouTubers, or the people that do it for the passion, like yourself, Wookie, Dimmy V, all that, what I call the original OGs from that group. And they know who they are. There's just so many to even mention that came across. And I appreciate everybody that comes in and participates in the group. I mean, and the group became something what I think is more of a community, not a place to share your links or whatever. But if you go in there and just say, hey, how's your day doing? That's fine. To me, it's about the community. Whether you're a gamer, or whether you're do vlogs, or craft stuff, or blogs, or whatever, I don't care. If you're there to chat to people, go for it. It's a social thing. It's not the YouTubey thing, really. It's all about making friends.
So one of the things that leads me into as well is that she's been mentioned now on every stream. She was mentioned on Wookie's. She's been mentioned on Justin's. They'll be up in a couple of days, and that is Auntie Judy. Now, I swear to God, if nobody knows already, Auntie Judy is your wife.
Yes.
And
16 long, arduous years.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, I think somebody's going to get a slap when they watch it, when Judy watches this back. But no, I you know, a word on Judy is that every podcast that I've done so far, I've given her a big shout out, and that is because most of the videos that Judy releases, if not all of the videos that Judy releases, is just so entertaining, and it's so, like, you know, relatable, and some you know, and what I mean, I remember that having the conversation with you at the time was that I even said to you, then I was like, you know what? It says Judy should just do something on YouTube. Just be how that you're doing. Because whenever I used to speak to you on the phone, you know, I could hear Judy talking in the background, and it just absolutely used to crack me up. It used to just make me crease, and I used to think, you know what? It says, I wish, you know, this needs to be done as a YouTube thing, because if I find this funny, if I find the way that she says apocalypse hilarious, you know, then so will other people, you know.
I can't even say it how she says it, but yeah.
Apocalypse, isn't it? Apocalypse.
Anyway, she's not putting that accent on.
I mean, sometimes
that's how she speaks.
I mean, sometimes with I remember I was watching one through the telly, and my mum walked in, and she was just like, "What are you listening to?" Because my mum, like, she couldn't even watch Django at all because of the southern accents. Like, she says it just really like sort of grinds her a bit. And so, like, my mum walked in on me watching one of Auntie Judy's videos, and she was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's the wife of a YouTuber who's the admin of our group." And she says, she's got to be putting that accent on, isn't she? I says, no, genuinely, like, they live in Texas. She says, that is definitely how she talks. And then you said something on the video, and then she was like, he hasn't really got a Texas accent. Where's he from? And I was like, no, he was from the UK. He moved over there. And she was like, oh, she says, that'd absolutely do my head in. And I was just like, yeah, but it's hilarious. So... Where were you initially from? Were you from Leicester then?
Yeah, I was actually from a little town just outside Leicester, just a little on the outskirts, shall we say, in the Leicestershire county.
Right.
And then I actually moved around, like, I'm a bit of a pikey, really. I mean, I moved down to Bedford and lived in Loughborough because I used to teach in Loughborough. And then I moved over here. I've lived in like 3 different states because Auntie Judy is actually from Virginia. We moved to Florida, and now we're actually based here in Texas.
I was going to say, because I remember somebody bringing up the fact of where they thought Judy was from, and it caused quite a riot.
Yeah, a lot of people here actually think she's from Louisiana,
Right.
Because she's like, I'm no Cajun ass motherfucker. Oh, okay, no, you're a Virginia girl. Just take a chill pill, girl. Calm down, breathe. Calm down, light.
I was going to say now, I mean, it was very, I tell you something now, I admire you for heading out over into the States and biting the bullet there, because, I mean, that must have been quite a big decision to move from a small town in Leicester to
You know
to
what?
Texas.
I never actually had the intention to do it. I mean, and I'll just give you a brief. I'd been speaking to her for nigh on a year now. When AOL had dial-up and stuff. I mean, some of the kids are like, dial-up, what's that? Google dial-up tone, you'll find out. And I'd been speaking to her for nearly a year, and I'd been to Canada, I'd been to Mexico, and I'd never been to the States. And I said, I'm coming over for a 2-week holiday. Flew over on November the 6th. Her and her brother drove up from Virginia to New York, which was about a 6-hour drive. Flew in on November the 6th. November the 8th, I ended up getting married. Called my sister up 2 weeks later, sent her back my flat key, and said, I'm not coming back. I'm married. I'm staying here in the States. And I've been back to the UK about half a dozen times, and this is where I stayed.
I'm conscious of the time, so we're going to move on a little bit now. We're going to move on to the Q&A section. So I've actually got about 5 questions here. So I'm just gonna I'll ask a question. I'll let you answer. I won't intervene at all. And then once we're done with that question, we'll move on to the next one, and then we'll go on to the rapid fires. Okay. So first question was posed to me by Angry Wookie on one of his streams, and that is, if you weren't doing YouTube, and you were, scrolling across the internet, and you came across one of our videos, what would be your outside opinion? If you didn't know any of us, what would be your outside opinion of our content? For example, mine and Angry Wookie's. Let's just do that one.
I would, my personal opinion would be, okay, you know what? These guys are playing games that I would play, like Roller Coaster 3 Tycoon with Wookiee, and you with your Detroits, and what caught me with you was your LA Noirs. Because it's the style. I look at the style of games and the games that people play. I'm not a hentai Japanese gaming fan. I'm not into Final Fantasy or those or hentai ones. And like I say, LA Noire and Detroit and Roller Coaster Tycoon, they're all the kinds of games. And if I'm going to buy a game, YouTube is the first place I go and check out gameplay. I won't go solely on a trailer. I need to see gameplay, and you guys would be the ones that I'm going to check out first. That's what sways my decision on buying a game or not. I don't read reviews, because everybody's opinion on a game is going to be different. I mean, look at Tomb Raider. They said, I can't remember which Tomb Raider it was the worst Tomb Raider. I want to say Angel of Darkness. They said it was the worst game out. Hell no. I've got every single Tomb Raider, even that pitiful Temple of Osiris.
Yeah.
But that's what would sway my decision, is you guys on playing a game. I mean, I'm going to watch you play Jurassic Park Evolution.
Can't wait for that.
And that is going to sway my decision on buying it, because I love the whole idea of that game, for instance. But it just seems to me, it's like Zoo Tycoon, but with dinosaurs. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposedly it's a business style simulator, but I really can't wait until we get into that. So, the next question we've got was, why the name G.O.T. What is the origins of the word of the name G.O.T.?
My channel was originally called The Man Cave, and I had a logo and an intro and everything, and it was, and then I don't know what stemmed from it, and then I changed it to my PSN name, which was Steve in Iraq 66, and it was just like it just seemed so boring. And then somebody mentioned about that in my streams, I was like really grumpy and moody, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to change it. So, and I was going to put Grumpy Gaming, GG Gaming, and then I was like, you know what? Got Gaming. Everybody's got gaming in their blood, or those that are in our group have got gaming. And then I thought, well, what could I actually have for the G.O.T. standing? And because I'm a truck driver, grumpy old trucker. I'm old because I'm over 50. Grumpy because I swear and cuss a lot on all my games, and hey, so it just made sense to have G.O.T. Gaming. Now there are a couple of other G.O.T. Gamings, but I think they actually don't have the dots in between, whereas mine. So theirs is actually Got Gaming, whereas I'm G.O.T.
Yeah.
I prefer to be called G.O.T. instead of Steve, in my opinion, because that's just how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I knew it, but it was just in case for people that didn't know. But I knew what it understood. I knew what the abbreviations for. But now that you've just mentioned it there on the trucking side of it, your job. So was the driving job something that you did in the UK before you moved out there, or was it just something that you picked up when you went over to the States?
No, I've always actually been driving. I've had loads of jobs, and at my age, you're gonna. But I always seem to return back to driving. I was a lorry driver back in England, and when I came here, I went into construction and security and law enforcement. But I ended up going back into driving again. I got my HGV license, or CDL as they call it, and I just find it more. I want to say relaxing, but I like driving, being on my own, and driving the open roads, as annoying as it is some days.
Well, I mean, it's something. It's something that I have a friend who I used to work with who used to do driving for it was like, I don't know, it's like a furniture company, so he had to go and do deliveries and stuff, and that was all over the country. And he came back to working to our place, and then he went working for DFS. So now he's delivering sofas, but in apartment blocks that are like 10 stories high. So he's I can imagine that's a bloody hard working job, I suppose. When at least you've got the moving about in between the driving. But from I've seen some of the pictures of your your trips and your distances that you do. So you're like going from like Houston to like Arkansas and places like that. So that's like a hell of a journey. Yeah.
I mean, that to me is local. I mean, next couple of days I'm going to be going to Arkansas and back, and I have to sleep in the truck, which is a bit of a pain. But I used to drive what they call long haul over all 50 states. Sorry, 49 states. So I could drive from Virginia to California, East Coast to West Coast, North to South, wherever. Jesus. I mean, my average, I'm doing 400 or 500 miles a day, average. Monday, I'm going to be driving close to 700 miles. So it makes for a long day some days.
Some days, just a little bit. We all know that you do a lot of game series, like your Life is Strange and your Assassin's Creed and the racing games and the likes. But you also enjoy doing challenges. And you like laying down the challenges and everything. So we've all, quite a lot of us have all taken part in some of the things that you've laid down and stuff. But what I was going to say, my question to you is that, do you have anything upcoming? Is there anything exciting new coming up to your channel? You mentioned you train stuff before, but challenges wise,
I love doing challenges. Now, whether people want to join in and do it, hey, that's fine. I don't do it to throw it out there. I do it because you know what? It to me it's fun. Like my sucker with a cricket in.
That was mental.
And it, you know what? I seen that sucker in a truck stop, and I was thinking that is disgusting. And then next time I was at that truck stop, I'm like, you know what? That would make a good challenge. My Everclear challenge, my onion eating challenge, the egg challenge. I just find them so freaking funny to do. I do have things in the pipeline. It's just time is such with working 50, 60, nearly 70 hours a week. I mean, I start at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then by the time I get home, it's 3, 4 o'clock, and hey, I've got to eat, shit, shower, shave, go bed. So it's Friday night, Saturdays, and Sundays is my only recording and doing stuff kind of thing. So I wish I had more time.
But sadly, we can't. You can't have all the time in the world, can you? But
exactly.
Not enough hours in the day. So
no.
So I mean that concludes it for the Q&A thing. Now I've got a few rapid fire questions. So you know how this works. You've seen the other podcast. It's like basically
I've seen you this, yeah.
Yeah, it's your first answer, first thing that comes to your head. So I'm gonna fire them at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna not be held responsible, and I do not hold RTP responsible for my answers. This is like therapy now. It's first thing that comes into your head. Okay, so I don't even know what's going to come out my mouth, and I have no idea what these questions are.
Don't worry, there's nothing too mental. Don't worry. Okay, ready?
Oh, all right.
So we got favorite game of all time.
GTA 5.
Ooh, beer or coffee?
Coffee.
Oh, driving or gaming?
Gaming.
That thought went into that one.
Oh, it did then, because driving I'm earning, but without earning I can't game. So it's
Catch 22. Okay, America or the US? America or the UK? Sorry.
US. I gotta say it. Sorry.
Oh gosh, you sell out.
I love the food. I miss the food. I miss the fish and chips. I miss Kronenberg and all those English beers and Carlin Black Label, but because American beer's like piss, but it's so much more relaxed here. It really is.
Okay, if you could do one job forever, what would it be?
Oh, one job forever? Freelance gynecology.
Oh, no. Wow.
I'm sorry. That was the first thing that came into my head.
Gynecology was the first thing that came into your head.
Yeah, at least it will stop me biting my fingernails. Hey, I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, you'll be biting something else. If someone did a movie on your life, who would play it?
Oh man, I'm probably gonna say I would want to say Jason Statham, but with my physique, I'm gonna say Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy, nice. And final one, favorite YouTuber.
Oh, favorite YouTuber. Oh my god. Straight off the top of my head, I'm gonna say Gaming Grandpa. No. Sorry, Gaming Grandpa. I love your stuff, but I'm gonna say Infamous J.
Infamous J.
Infamous J. Yes.
And that's your final answer. You sure?
Yes, that is my final answer. He has me creased up. I mean, there's so many good gamers. That's such an unfair question. So unfair.
It is unfair, but it's part of the rapid fire. It's part of the rapid fire question. You know, you gotta get it in there as quick as you can. You know what I mean? But so there is another question, but for explicit reasons, I'm not going to ask it on the stream. I will ask it you outside of the stream. I'll ask it outside of this video.
You coward! I dog dare you.
You know what the question is because you've heard it in Wookie's stream. So I'm not going to ask it. If anybody wants to know what that question is, go look at the end of Wookie's stream. You already know what the question is. What's your answer? Join in once, or the other one.
I'm going to join in once because I don't want to be. I can get therapy for that one time. For watching it for the rest of my life, no, I will never get that image out of my head.
Fair enough. that is a brutal answer. It's a brutal answer. If nobody knows what that is, or they really want to know what that is, then feel free to go back to Wookie's stream and look at the last question. But I did promise to somebody else that I wouldn't ask that question on the stream. So if you want to know what it was, there you go. But that is it. That is it for the. That is it for this podcast. Did you enjoy yourself on the podcast? That's my final question.
I had so much fun. Time goes by too quick.
It does on these, and hopefully this hasn't ended up too long. But I'm going to play a song now to carry us out to the end of the podcast. So, what was your choice of song?
I'm going to choose Janji Heroes Tonight. I heard that actually on somebody else's stream and found it was copyright and had to have it and loved it ever since.
Okay, so we're going to play that now. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, G.O.T, for all of the answers and for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. And I'm going to say peace out.
And peace out from me too. Ciao, everyone.
Look. Last one.
Now, come to bed.
That's it.
Go to bed now.
I'm done. Look, see?
No more playtime.
See, I don't know if you can see. Look, see? Can you see? Look. Woo! 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 I'm going for a lie down now. But there we go. Oh, I love you, Mr. Fridge. Okay, bye.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.